Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to your Twin Flame Energy Check-in. Let's dive straight into the read. I hope you guys are doing great. Let's see what's going on. We have a few important events this week. We have Saturn going direct, I think tomorrow. I will speak about it a little bit more in tomorrow's reading. Obviously we have Thanksgiving in States and I want to pay tribute to that too. We will do something little for that today actually. And Mercury is going direct at the end of the week. So yeah, definitely there are changes, there are transitions to the new season, new time, new portals, you name it. So without further ado, let's get started with the reading. I have picked up different decks for this round of my travel, I'll be honest with you. So they're not completely new, of course, just different from the ones they had the previous couple of. Oh, and I will start posting December reads this week, so watch out for that as well. I've got a little bit of Christmas lights going on. Yeah, just a little something festive. I also brought, these are not my lights actually, but I brought my own lights on this trip, so I will experiment with that for the next read that I'm doing from here. So now back to the reading. We will start with an oracle message, and I do have the Angels and Ancestors deck with me, so it will be a very special message today. What I want us to do, we'll do the usual spread for the twins to see where both the feminine and the masculine collective are. I do want to add that shade of, gratitude context, right? And I want us to be able to see what are we grateful for on this journey? What should we be grateful for on this journey? Because remember, being grateful, acknowledging what you already have where you are is one of the main keys to manifesting more goodness, wellness, happiness for yourself, whatever that means to you. Very important step. So let's do it on a more conscious level these days, in this reading. So that will be the second question of the read. That will be the question that I'm picking in advance myself. So we'll check on the energy. We'll see what should we be grateful for on this journey at this time. What do we need to acknowledge, to remember? And the third one is going to be, of course, the messages between the twins. All right, with all that said, let's pull a card for Divine Feminine Fortune. If you're new, please check out the description box with a lot of different information. This is holiday season. I am asking for donations, especially this year has been my hottest, I think, in like forever. And so yeah, if you can contribute, if you can support me, if you enjoy my readings, there are options how to do that. Okay, so the card for the feminists watching. Sorry guys, we got interrupted. I wanted to say, yeah, if you are thinking of ordering something off my Amazon wishlist, please message me first or email me for your own sake. Because I'm not at the address that is mentioned there, but I don't want to remove my list altogether. So just message me and we'll figure it out. Okay, so for the feminines watching, we have Direction Guardian. Choose your path, choose your direction. This is like a Chariot card equivalent in this deck. It's very important to know what has the highest priority or highest value for you at this time. And there's nothing wrong with trying to do many things, trying to build a lot of different stuff or to be successful in different areas of your life. And you feel like you have kind of like distinct projects in each of those areas. But again, for the sake of manifestation journey, for the sake of success, and for the sake of clarity, it's very important to understand what is the direction. Ideally, of course, as you're choosing a direction in one specific area, you should do a little bit of a cross-check and see how the other areas sit, right? Does it contradict anything else that you're doing already or that you want to do? And see how you can reconcile that. At the very least, remove the obvious constraints where it's definitely in conflict with each other. Doesn't mean you have to solve everything in one day, right? We want to respect the divine timing and unfolding of events. We never know how certain things that seemed not compatible are gonna be the most compatible things in the world, or the most compatible people in the world, right? But at this time, it is very important to decide what you want to focus on out of the wealth of different options of abundance, of happiness, of your mission and purpose. What is it that you want to focus on in the nearest future? For masculines, we have the shaman, trust in higher forces. So I spoke about it a little bit already in the context of feminine message, but shaman is a healer, but a lot of that knowledge comes from the subconscious and from that intuitive guidance. Of course, there's a lot to speak about, in terms of learning, acquiring your skills, your craft from the masters. Oftentimes for shamans is the ancestors. There is also a lot of that intuitive feeling, right? If you think of shaman as an equivalent of a doctor, for instance, in the older days, right? It was like that. There was no science behind it, right? And somehow shamans knew what to give people, what to say over them, the rituals to perform, right? For the most part, because they were receiving downloads and they were using that intuitive knowledge and, of course, reading message essentially of their patients and what they're going through in their energy field. Even if they don't call it that way, if they didn't realize that's what's happening, people with this kind of skills, with shamanic skills, they had access to that information. But it is very important to trust in higher forces, that they're guiding you, that you're being guided by something greater than yourself, that it's not just you figuring it out. Because you're both becoming very entitled and arrogant in that way if you think that you decide on everything and you're in full control. But on the other hand, it also puts a lot of pressure on yourself. It's kind of like, whether I make it happen or I don't succeed, it's on me, right? Like, I should have done better, I should have known better. And that's also not fair. So very important to have that balance in mind of doing your best, but also trusting in higher forces. All right, for the main read, we're gonna use Tarot Grand Lux today. Let's see what we have. This will be a 3-question read. So we'll need 6 cards. Okay, this keeps falling out. We'll take it, of course. I'm actually glad that you can see the cards with this kind of angle. It's a little weird for my liking, but I like this part with the table. 8 of Wands, bottom of the deck. Yeah, you see, I was just talking about downloads and trusting the divine and the message, and yes, we are receiving a lot of them. Tomorrow, there will be more on Saturn going direct. All right. Let's see. Oops. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's that, you can have the whole world. The world is your oyster, but what is it that you want to order at that restaurant where they serve not just oysters, but anything? You can have anything you want. With all that said, for the feminines, your energy right now is Judgment, clarified by the Emperor. I mean, look at these strong energies, right? It's very decisive, it's very specific. It's like there is no either or, right? We make a choice and we stand by it. And to me, that's a continuation of that Direction Guardian message that I was just talking about. And there is also a combination of, the divine guidance, i.e. the judgment, right? The wake-up call, the insights from your higher power, and also of your own will, of your own ego, if you wish, right? Your own ambition, your own understanding, right? It's important to continue taking both of these very important pieces of the equation, to consider both of them, right? And I feel like a lot of the decision making and a lot of the manifestation journey as well is really about finding that balance, right? It's about learning where am I putting too much into the hands of the external circumstances and maybe just, you know, waiting for things to happen? Or where am I trying too much to fit things into a certain mold and to have them my way rather than allowing them to unfold, right? You will get an opportunity to continue learning in this context. So these are major arcana, so that means the universe is bringing those examples, those situations, people, places, and situations in your reality for you to be able to see, to get the perspective, and to learn. The question is, of course, to be curious, to observe, to draw conclusions. For the masculines, we have Page of Coins clarified by Five of Swords. So there is a certain energy of confusion and loss with the masculine, where they may be thinking like they don't have it figured out and maybe they will never have it figured out. Or, you know, people keep letting me down. It doesn't seem like I'm ever gonna achieve what I want because I can't do it by myself. And also I can't seem to find the right team to be by my side and to do this with me. Right? Somehow it goes sideways, one way or the other. I'm trying different approaches and I'm still left alone and, you know, without the result that I thought was so obvious and I was so confident about. So a bit of a lack of confidence, I would say, at this time. What should we be grateful for? For the feminines, we see Five of Wands clarified by Nine of Swords. Feminines, are you grateful for struggles and trials and tribulations on your journey? Can you be? Right? It's almost like I'm hearing a message you've been shown what not to do or what you don't want. You know, like if you're having too much anxiety about something, it's not what you want. It's not for you, you know? Or, you know, if people are pulling you into their directions or they're telling you what to do and you have starting to have anxiety about it, that's not for you. That's even a more exact interpretation here. And you should be thankful for that. So that feeling of overwhelming anxiety actually is your inner compass that helps you. And the deeper you go on this journey, the more vivid that feeling is, the more obvious it becomes, the louder the voice is within you that is telling you this is not for you, this is not going great. You're not in alignment with this person or with this situation, right? And there is a lot of goodness in that. Especially if you manage to walk away from those people, places, and situations before you invested too much or, you know, before it became a very painful experience for you. And I'm sure that you can attest that the farther you go, the further you go on this journey, the sooner you can tell when something's off, when it's like it's not my place, or maybe my place is to point those things out or to offer my help, but also be ready to accept that some people may not be ready for my help or may not need it, and that's also fine. For masculines, what should they be grateful for? Another set of major arcana now. Now for the masculines, we have the Moon and the Hermit. Very interesting. It's 9 and 18. So masculines actually there is similarity in this energy, by the way. There's on a certain level, and it is about getting clarity about how you feel and why. And there is this clarity that is brought to the masculines, but again, a lot of times it's through solitude, like with that hermit mode. A lot of times it's realizing that I don't belong to certain groups of people where I wanted to be, where it felt like this is definitely for me, you know, like maybe that was even a dream for a while. And sometimes there's a sad realization that the people, places, and situations that I really wanted to be part of, that I wanted to be in my life, actually are not for me and are not gonna do what I wanted them to do, or I'm not gonna be happy here, or, you know, I just don't belong one way or the other, right? Of course, it then creates more space for the unknown, you know, for that energy that doesn't feel safe and secure. But that's where the transformation also happens with both of these cards, and again, being major arcanas. So it's very important to be grateful for these moments, for these times of uncertainty, of being in the unknown, of feeling like you made a wrong choice again, or, you know, you put all your eggs in one basket and that turned out to be the wrong basket, kind of thing. What is the message that the feminines have towards the masculine right now? Knight of Swords, clarified by Seven of Swords. So feminine saying, be careful with what you say, with how you position yourself, what you want for us, how you feel, etc. I don't want faulty promises. I don't want you to say certain things just because you feel like you have to before you actually feel ready for them. You know, no matter what that next step is, or what kind of words that you're preparing for the feminines that you have in mind, right? Make sure that they are as authentic, as honest as possible. And it's better for the feminines to hear that, you know, even that you are not ready, you're afraid, you are dealing with a lot, but that would be, you know, but hearing that message is something honest and authentic would be much better than if you were saying how ready you are to be together and how much you want it, but then, you know, you feel completely closed off to it, right? Because that it will translate to the feminine, first of all, and feminines don't want you to feel like you have to be a certain way or say certain things to impress, but rather just be yourself and, you know, if anything, explain where you are at this point in your journey. It would help because the feminine would be able to be your empathetic witness, divine masculines watching, and also you will get out of that bad place much sooner. What is the message from the masculines to the feminines? Eight of Swords, clarified by Queen of Wands. So the masculines definitely want to make way to their feminine, to commit, to be together, to go full on, but they feel like their hands are tied. Literally or figuratively, hopefully not as much literally, right? Meaning that there's some kind of obligations that are keeping them in their old structures. You know, it could be, I don't know, some I'm hearing legal questions, like, I don't know, custody battles, work permit and visa related complications, like certain reasons why they feel like they have to stay where they are and they need to last a little bit longer before they can free themselves and go for what they want. Or maybe in a certain job contract where you're on, I don't know, different sides of the globe, and they feel like right now they can't say goodbye to that job so they can be with you. They have to continue and to stick with it, right? So there is this feeling of obligation that they have, but they want you to know, divine feminines, that you're always on their mind, that you're on the back of their head at all times, that they're there, whatever chance they have to see what you're doing, to follow you, to be in touch, either directly or through other people. They appreciate that, and it's very important for them to have that presence of you in their life. You're that inspiring muse for them, you know, you're someone who helps ignite their fire and help them keep going no matter what is happening or how hard some days are on this journey. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Sorry about some breakages in the video recording. I think I can still blame it for the Mercury retrograde. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, who knows. I should be getting a new phone sometime soon, so hopefully that will help fix the problem. And of course the retrograde will be over, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely tune in tomorrow and the following days for the Saturn going direct, Mercury going direct, Thanksgiving read, and of course December horoscopes for each zodiac sign. So I love having you here, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and until next time.